Hi, I'm Andrew, and if you don't recognise the face, it's probably because my wife Sally and I normally go to the 9 a.m. service at Canterbury Gardens. Life's been very busy in our household over the lockdown period with work and study, frail parents, and we've also been looking after putting together the 9 a.m. Canterbury Gardens service each week. Shabu said it would be a great encouragement to him if I was to wear a collar and a tie for this video. So I've chosen my favourite periodic table tie, and I hope it's an encouragement to you, Shabu. And I look forward to your encouragement to me this coming Sunday, you know what I mean. As part of my quiet time over the last few years, I'm constantly going back to the book of Psalms, and I use a commentary by Phil Moore. An excellent commentary. Last Sunday, for Mother's Day, the 9 a.m. service skipped forward in the book of John to John 19:25-27 and looked at Mother's broken heart, talking about Jesus' death on the cross. So I picked up Phil Moore's commentary on John and started to have a look at the passages in John 19:25-42, which is really the death of Christ on the cross. He entitled these series of verses, Satan's Worst and God's Best. So I thought, as a way of encouragement during this time of difficulty, confusion, uncertainty and searching for answers, that we pull out a few of the points that Phil makes, showing that God is always in control, well planned, as we see from the Old Testament prophecy fulfillment, and executes everything perfectly. And what better way to look at these things than to look at Christ's victory on the cross? So here's a few of the worst and best contrasts. Firstly, Satan thought he'd outflanked Jesus by enlisting his friend Judas to betray him. But little did he realise that in fact he was actually fulfilling an Old Testament prophecy in Psalm 41, betrayed by his closest friend. Satan thought he'd outwitted Jesus by putting a strong Jewish leadership against a fearful Roman governor. But God's plan always was that Jesus would be silent against his accusers, Isaiah 53:7. By physically and mentally tormenting Jesus, Satan thought he could break him. But it only served to bring about Jesus' full obedience and compassion to those around him. John 19:34. The devil thought he'd won a remarkable victory by Christ's death on the cross. Little did he know that this was part of God's perfect victory plan, predicted throughout the Old Testament, from Exodus in the Passover blood to Zechariah, his pierced hand and feet. And in the Gospel of John, John goes on to the offensive in these passages and explains that in fact the victory crown, the crown of thorns that was placed on Jesus' head, was a victory crown. The crucifixion was something that Jesus didn't endure, but it was something that he embraced. He laid down his life for his friends, and it wasn't taken from him. Jesus said it was finished. Every detailed requirement set down in the Old Testament was now complete. The full debt was paid. The requirement for sins forgiveness was completed. There was nothing more that was needed to be done. Hey, let's never forget we're on the victor's side. We worship a God who is well planned, well resourced, the King of Kings, and loves each one of us to bits. So Phil begins his commentary of these passages by quoting Winston Churchill, and also ends with this particular quote, and sorry, I can't do the Winston Churchill voice. Out of these trials and tribulations has been born a new freedom, a glory for all mankind. Hey, what an encouragement, so true. Hey, have a great week, and I'll see you on the Sunday morning 9 a.m. service online. Catch you later, bye.